Hi, everybody. Ray and I are here together, and we're going to talk about what's happening. So there's a lot of stuff happening, everywhere, but the energies are happening. So we're going to talk about that first.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure y'all have felt it. I feel like I've said that the opening of the last like three videos we've done. I'm sure you felt it because it's undeniable what we've been going through collectively.
Yeah. Big, big stuff. It's kind of like somebody else mentioned it as tribulation, and I've been mentioning it as the purge, purging karma, purging all this stuff that we can't really take with us into this new universe that we're coming into. But the
Yeah.
purging doesn't always feel so nice. So,
Yeah, and
yeah,
sometimes it can bring up shame, when you
yeah,
have an emotional outburst or something. Um, I may not look it, but I am 33 and I had a tantrum yesterday morning. I felt like a toddler. I was just angry and I something triggered me. I felt like I had no control. Oh, my dog wasn't listening to me. I don't know. It was all this like domino effect. I walk in the house, I slam the door, like an angry teenager, and I just like scream at the top of my lungs, just as loud as I could, just because I knew there was just this turmoil inside of me that just had to come out. And then I cried and cried really hard. And it was interesting because as I'm listening to myself crying, I'm being brought back to, yeah, why does no one listen to me? Yeah, I was brought back to like a toddler kind of energy, memory of
yeah,
being ignored as a kid when I'm crying and I'm upset and being put in my room and like just calm down, be quiet, take a nap. And I have trauma. That was the trauma that, that's why the crying was like, like it sounded like a toddler would sound.
yeah,
Um, so, let it out. Just let it out. I felt completely renewed after about probably an hour of working through all that. Um, I felt like a new person, and I reached out to someone for help. That's what's important. After I processed it and got it out, I reached out to someone I knew that could hold space, and was like, "I'm just having a rough time. This is how I'm feeling. I'm trying to work through it," and they held space for me. And together, we kind of came up with a plan like, okay, we're going to do a meditation later. We're going to fix this. We're going to cut those cords. And it was just so refreshing to reach out and to lean on. I know I'm not the only one that's been closed hearted over the years, right? And hard to trust people, hard to be vulnerable, hard to put yourself out there. So, yeah, just know you're not the only one experiencing lots of intense emotions, and don't judge yourself. No judgment. It's all
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Don't judge yourself. Also, if you don't have somebody to reach out to, make sure that you just ask for the angels to come and assist you. There's so much help out there. Like the angels are basically lined up waiting to help you.
Mhm.
So just say only, those in my highest good. My main archangel, I want you to monitor who comes in and assists me with this, and just bring in the answers to me. Bring them into my awareness because,
Ask and you shall receive.
yeah, and it's inside out right now. We've been so oriented to watching the outside come in and then figuring out what to do with that. Let it come out of you and decide what to do with it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. You're so powerful.
Yeah.
We are so powerful, and our all of our abilities have been activated and heightened and increased. And the ability to create abundance in your life, to create change in your life, is now as easy as think a new thought, say it out loud, maybe do a movement and say it 3 times, and it's literally going to come to you. It takes very minimal effort right now to
Yeah.
shift things.
And minimal effort to let stuff go too.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful because there's been a lot of karma or a lot of gunk that has been built up over umpteen thousands of years, and we're now transmuting it. And it can be very traumatic as it comes up, but just know if the faster you release it, the faster you're done with it, basically. So don't hang on, let go.
Well, it is taking up space that your abilities and your higher self will fill in when you let go of it. As soon as you create that space, more of your abilities, more of your purpose, more of your clarity is going to come in. So it's like a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
It's a massive trade-off. So I took this picture today, and you guys have seen it before, but basically we have an oversoul, and that's where our higher self comes from. And right now the higher self is downloading into the human body. So as you let go of those traumas, just like Ray is saying, you make more room for your higher self to come in, and more of your gifts are going to show up. So some people have been asking, where are my gifts? It's, they need to release more. Also, you want to be really thankful for the gifts that are not kind of Marvel comic type gifts as well, because you may have some beautiful gifts that you're not acknowledging either.
Right. So, that may not seem like a gift because it's just easy and normal, and you think, oh, anyone could do that, but not anyone could do it,
Yeah.
I love that image, and I'm imagining, here we go. You want to put it back up? You want to put it back up? Yeah. So I was imagining that the little the body, right? Imagine that is actually a glass of water, and the higher self is the water coming in. And the blockages would be like dirt in the water. Okay. So it's like when the water comes in from the higher self, it stirs things up. That's why when we get these higher self integrations, we get these big upgrades, everything gets stirred up. So then we feel gross. We can feel the dirt. We're more aware of it. It's more spread out. It's just like, right? Rather than all being concentrated, like sitting at the bottom of the jar. So as you transmute the dirt, right, you're basically like dissolving little specks of dirt at a time, right? Hopefully, the thing is you could get to the point where you just imagine any single speck of dirt that's in that glass of water is dissolved, and you imagine the whole glass of water being living water straight from, because above the oversoul there would be another bubble of
source,
like source, basically, because source splits off into different oversouls. So yeah, you can imagine the living water coming straight from source down through the oversoul, through the higher self, into your glass of water. It's just a nice little visual, right? I like it.
Yeah. It is fun and easy. Yeah. I like to draw stick people.
I like your drawings. I've always liked your drawings. I put your drawing of what Earth really looks like. I know that's how we first connected, is I put that drawing on my TikTok, and you're like, hey, that's mine. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know that you knew who I was.
Yeah. So fun. Yeah.
So fun.
And it's really simple to explain, just with a very simple image. We also wanted to talk about what you put on your body.
Yeah.
What kind of clothing are you wearing? I found a hemp shirt yesterday. I haven't purchased it yet, but
hemp and linen are the two highest frequency fabrics, and below that would be cotton.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's all pretty bad.
Yeah, silk is okay, but I don't feel good about silkworm. I think it's terrible. So, but there is a coconut silk that they make, and I feel like that one is kind of right around cotton. It actually feels better, so it might be slightly higher. And I learned about this in Morocco when I was at that healing thing. And they make pashminas out of this coconut silk. And they're just like, you're just like, oh, they're so luscious or whatever. Of course, it just sits in a drawer and you never wear it. But if you did, like, you would feel so good in it. So that's another thing. But at the least, try and at least wear as much cotton as you can. But if you can start doing linen, and hemp, I think, is coming on the scene. So
yeah, hemp is definitely getting more prevalent.
yeah.
The coconut silk sounds amazing and definitely would be way better than silk made from, I didn't know
Yeah,
that's
I
how
don't feel
silk was
good
made.
about that at all.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Um, and I can imagine that seems so soft. But the thing is we're so used to just being in kind of uncomfortableness that it's hard for us to even wear things that feel that comfortable because it's like too soft or like too, we like a little bit of contrast. A little bit of contrast.
Yeah, or we're trying to fit into the fashion, you know?
Yeah.
We're not actually thinking about, like, is my body like this?
Right. Or we're thinking about like, what does my body look like when I wear this rather than
Yeah.
how does this feel when I wear it? It's like, how does this look? Focusing more on how we feel is important. And, I actually went to the emergency room like years ago because I used to wear Spanx, tummy tucking Spanx like every single day, to work. And, because I wore skirts and dresses and I wanted that like smooth, curvy look. And they basically told me that I had severe gas pain, is what they basically said. Because when I went to the emergency room, because I thought I don't know, I had such severe pain in my stomach. I thought maybe my appendix was bursting, and I didn't know it hurt so bad. And yeah, it turned out just to be literally just like indigestion from wearing something so tight around my waist.
Yeah.
And those were years where I was still learning about self-empowerment and letting go of a lot of insecurities. I had a lot of more layers to go through at that time. But my point is this: our bodies need space to heal. Healing requires expansion. So if we're wearing things that are constricting, whether that's sometimes we have to compression socks, things like that. But if we're wearing things that are really constricting, like men that wear ties, around their like super tight, like neck things every day, or just super tight bras, Spanx, underwear that's too tight and cuts off your circulation, or anything that's tummy tucking. Anything that's tummy tucking is disempowering. That's what it is. And it might feel empowering for a time. Like it might give you the kind of false sense of power that you need for a time, maybe when you're shifting. But ultimately, to be free in our body, to completely accept our body, and to not have any concern over what anyone thinks, or even no self-judgment either. Just like, I am amazing, I'm beautiful, and I love my body just the way it is. Like, that is pure power right there.
It is. It is. And it also gives your body the feeling of being empowered, because the human part of us is what is really ascending. Like, that's what we're taking through ascension, is this beautiful human being. And we want that human being to feel good, to know that it can do what it wants, to listen to it. So, like right now, I'm working on my adrenals and my thyroid, and my body wants that. So I'm asking my body. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is a 72-hour fruit only thing where I just eat fruit all day. And that's a very cleansing thing to do, but it also gives your organs a chance to kind of chill out. Like, it's like a break for them. And I was asking, is that something you want from my body? And I got a resounding yes. So when I go to the grocery store, because I live, kind of out of town, when I go there, I'm going to be picking up fruit and saying, is this what you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? Like, and planning and making sure that I get enough for 3 days, so that I can eat as much fruit as I want during that time. And I never go through that, like, fruit goes through your body a lot faster. So you're going to eat more of it than you would normally eat for meals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You hold the food up to your tummy. I do that sometimes. Like I'll hold the thing up to my tummy and see how, like
that's a good idea.
my stomach will get a negative response when I hold up anything like super processed, like
Yeah.
cereal and things. I can feel almost like it's like a nauseous or crampy feeling.
Yeah. When I was like just getting into this whole like energy thing and just learning higher self stuff, I would go through this period of time where if I was with too many people, I would absorb their energy and I would actually like lose my lunch. It would just
Oh,
go.
wow.
So if we went to lunch and there was all this like frantic, energy in the group that I was with, I'd be the one that got sick. So, be aware of everything, that has to do with your body. Like ask it why,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, it was, I was taking on too much of their junk and my body was like, no, I can't do it. And just gets rid of the food. So be really kind to your body right now.
Yeah.
That's my biggest message, I think. And
So I want to,
plastic clothing isn't very good.
yeah. So, right. Okay. Everybody's got a belly, right? Most everybody. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. So I've started to wear my shorts just right here underneath, right? And I still pull them up like higher in the back, but like letting the belly breathe. So, like sometimes when we're feeling anxious or worried or something stressful is going on, right? We start to hold this tension in our belly. Like it's like you don't really realize it until you let it go, right? So, an exercise that I do frequently throughout the day is intentionally let my whole belly be big. Let it be big. Let it expand as much as it needs to. Like, stop holding it in. So many of us, especially women, we taught ourselves to like suck it in all the time, like to
Yeah.
just walk around like sucking it in, Like I started doing that in high school. It has been so hard. The body is like traumatized now. Like when I try to relax it, it just clenches back up. So it's like it's a consistent practice of, okay, take a deep breath. On the exhale, you just try to release and relax every single abdominal muscle that you can release. It's like really tuning into those muscles and be like, okay, you're okay. You're safe. We're safe here. We belong. We're valued. We're seen, right? Like
Yeah.
we're empowered. We're not a victim anymore because now we know better, right? So just comforting our bellies. I know it sounds kind of strange, but like
Yeah, but
comforting
that's
the
how you
belly.
digest the world too. Like a lot of people have digestive issues, and some of this has to do with the food. But
Yeah.
a lot of it is energetic, and it's like I can't digest the world. I can't
Mhm,
digest what's
mhm.
going on. So it's like it
A lot of it
creates
is,
these different issues. Yeah.
well, a lot of it's I can't digest because there's too much. There's
Yeah.
too much data coming in, right? Whether that's conversations, connections, responsibilities, obligations, things, new tasks you have to learn, too much data. So when if you are having indigestion, what it means is you need less coming in. So maybe a break from watching TV, maybe a break from being on your phone, maybe you go watch nature for a while to get all those ions. Um, yeah, the body talks to us. That's a book. The body
It really
talks.
does. Yeah.
Mhm.
Could be constipation. It could be the opposite of that. Like
Right.
it could be acid reflux. Like all those different things have to do with the body saying, what are you doing emotionally right now?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a light code that I drew that's for healing the solar plexus, and I want to show that to you guys here.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to take a screenshot, I suggest taking a screenshot of it if you want to look at it closer.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonderful. I think someone said they were like, wait, I didn't take the screenshot yet. Hold on, let's do it one more time.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's a
hold
good
this
one.
up for 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. I know we have a lot of people that struggle with technology. I get it. How do I take a screenshot? What buttons do I push? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So
Um,
what else was there? Oh,
there was,
what happened in Kingman?
yeah. So, if you don't know much about my journey, briefly, I landed in Kingman, Arizona. I was living in Long Beach, California, and kind of just serendipitously arrived in Kingman, Arizona. And it's a pretty small town, yeah, really small town. There's no sidewalks in the neighborhoods, like it's a small town. And I have been kind of like, okay, universe, I know there's a bigger reason why I'm here, but I don't know what it is. So it's been fun because gradually I'm discovering things like, for example, I'm 33 this year. That's the master teacher number in numerology.
Hmm.
And the elevation of Kingman, Arizona is 3,333 feet.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's ideal for you to be there right now.
Yes. Um, So I was researching the other day, like, why am I here? Well, I'm really interested in aliens, and there's a lot of ET activity in Arizona. So I decided to look it up. I said, is there any UFO activity in Kingman, Arizona? And sure enough, in 1953, oh, there we go. 1953 is the one we're talking about here. Can we scroll?
Yeah, so a 1947 Roswell thing, New Mexico event happened, but then in 1953 there's the lesser known crash of Kingman.
Yeah,
Can you see the screen?
yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
desert near
so
Kingman.
scroll down a little bit. The Okay, crash details. So it was May 21st, 1953, 8 miles northeast of the Kingman Airport, which is probably only about 12 miles from where I live right now. Like I could stare off into the distance and see where this happened. Object was described as metallic, 30 feet wide and 3.5 feet high, oval shaped with portholes. Inside were two 4 foot tall humanoids, 2 to 4 4 foot tall humanoids deceased, according to them. I don't think they were all dead, with large eyes wearing metallic suits. So the interesting thing that I remember about it is that, okay, yeah, so basically the the footage and like the all the information on it was hidden for a long time. The government kept it under wraps.
Mhm.
But recently there's just been so much disclosure. I mean, there's even a National Geographic docu-series on UFOs right now where like all the Air Force is kind of revealing that they have been lying all these years saying, oh no, we don't know anything about the UFOs. Like they've just been like pretending like they don't know when they've actually been really involved heavily
Yeah,
with that.
everything is being
So
exposed at once. It's stuck in the ground going 1,200 miles an hour.
yeah. Yeah, and it said it wasn't built on Earth, obviously.
And it looked like a cigar.
And they brought in different specialists from different fields to come in, and they didn't tell them what was going on, but they were like, hey, we need you to like tell us how fast you think this is going based off the crash site. But they made them sign like these NDAs. Oh yeah, covered up. um
Yeah.
yeah, there was a break in the case. Yeah. Yep. So I read a couple different articles on it too, but yeah, just testimonies of the people that went there to look at it and how it was all kept under wraps, and it was definitely government, like the government was involved and all of that. But anywho, it's so cool because that's just like a few miles from where I'm living right now. And so also the download came through that the Hualapai Mountains, which is where I was for 2 weeks before I miraculously met this woman who's letting me live in her house. Um, those mountains were actually created as a result of when the Grand Canyon was formed. So that rip, that tear in the earth
Yeah.
caused these mountains to form. So the energy in those mountains is just, there's just a lot of trauma that needs to be healed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of past life activations, memories, things that happen when you go there. It's a lot of, I'm hoping to see UFOs when we do our retreat September 1st.
Just call them in.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, we're gonna call him in, and we're bringing a telescope, so we're gonna like actually be able to look at some stuff more closely. But yeah, these mountains, they called me there for a reason. I had never heard of the Hualapai Mountains when I left Long Beach. And within 2 weeks of leaving Long Beach, some stranger on the road told me, "Oh, if you want to go to a cooler spot, to have puppies, go up there." It was all just this divinely ordained. Getting up the mountain was traumatizing, and I almost didn't even. I almost turned around halfway up,
Yeah.
and so it's just. I'm just like falling in love with these mountains. It's so strange. It's like I'm falling in love with a nature, not a person, but like a spot,
I
a
totally
place.
get it. Yeah. There's like I live in the mountains, and when you come back from a trip and you're driving and all of a sudden you see them, like they open up right in front of you, you're just like in awe of them.
Yeah.
They're so amazing. And they have their own energy. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And the ocean is the same. Like when you're on the edge of the ocean, like you can feel that deep
Mm-hmm.
elemental power. It's such a beautiful thing as well. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nature is amazing. And we're part of the creation of nature, but they're the elemental beings, like the big ones that really help create the planets and stuff, like they're amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. One thing we kind of touched on, but not quite, I wanted to mention one more time, is the concept of like radical transformation. Drink some water.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in that phase right now, and anything that can help you with that is really good.
Well,
Radical transformation.
I'm thinking of like people who are like feeling the need. You're like, oh, I need a new wardrobe, or I need a new haircut, or I need to, I feel like a different person and I want to appear as a different person. Um, we kind of talked about the concept of how however expansive your soul is, if you're really expansive and you came here from like way up in this 12th dimension or even from another universe
Right.
completely, it's going to take more transformations to integrate all of that.
Yeah.
So you might feel like ungrounded or unstable or like flighty or flaky or like you just can't make up your mind, but that's not what it is. It's just that there's constantly new information coming in to where you're just becoming a new person. You're like shedding your skin. It's almost like how some animals shed their skin in shorter cycles than others. Like some would do it more often. You're just shedding your skin more often. That's all. So,
Right. It's the higher being coming in.
yeah.
And I've had now my throat. I've had experiences where like you're sick actually. Like I've had a fever, and then the next day all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, I know how to do this now, and I didn't know how to do that before." So
Yeah.
it's like upgrades are coming in, and that's part
Or
of the process, and not to be afraid of them.
yeah. Or you might notice speaking is more challenging, finding the words might be more challenging. spelling, writing,
Yeah.
recognizing words. We were laughing about it earlier. I've been just like regular normal words. If I write them down a couple times and I'm focused on them for more than a couple seconds, all of a sudden my brain is like, that's not a word. That's not a word. You're making that up. That's not a real word. And then I have to look it up online and like make sure it's actually a real word and that I'm spelling it right.
Yeah.
So it's like these brain glitches because of the integration.
Yeah. The integration is a real thing. And body aches, maybe temporarily. But we've been experiencing that for like, I don't know what, almost 2 years, it feels like. But now it's increasing, feels like it's increasing. Like I've had to take a nap every afternoon for the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So there's some big stuff coming in.
I want to also mention, I know we're about to wrap up, but the quantum financial system. So I've been being introduced to like new people that are talking about this and like reputable sources. So I'm learning myself, but I just energetically, the reason why I'm allowing myself to peruse this topic is because I can feel that it's coming in. Like I don't need any confirmation. I don't need to like research it and to have the head knowledge to know because I already feel it.
Yep.
It's happening. It's
It is
happening like as we speak. So very exciting.
It is exciting. It's really exciting. And it's something that people have been wanting and asking about. And I feel like we're finally starting to have the space for it. And that's probably because of all the energy that we just purged out.
Yep.
So as a collective, we purged all this nasty stuff out. And now that made room for it to come
The
in.
purging is kind of happening in line with the disclosure. Like as
It
the
is.
disclosure of the purging, it's all in sync.
Yeah. And it feels gross at the time, but just try and remember this is going to make space for something bigger and better. This is part of ascension. We got to let go of the yuck so that we can move into a more serene universe. And that universe is going to be like a being universe. I feel like it's going to be a doing universe. You're going to do things that really light you up, that make you happy, and you're going to know that you can. And we've been in the contrast universe, polarized, learning about, all of that stuff for thousands and millions and probably trillions of years, right? So that is now coming to an end. And whatever parallel you're in, this is another thing that was been interesting to me. So wherever you're at with your own ascension, you'll come in when it's right for you. So you could think of parallels as lines on your paper. And they're just going to come in almost like an accordion closes, like the top of it will come in and then it'll just keep coming. So don't feel like, oh, I'm behind or oh, I'm whatever. You're doing what you need to be doing for the human being that you're inside of.
Yep. Yeah. And this is once again releasing any shame or self-judgment because if you feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, then that's something that you're needing to work through right now. Because I have been feeling that, like I've had to take so many naps, I've had to take so many days off and not even touch work stuff. And there was kind of those old programs coming in of like, well, you need to try harder if you want to be successful. And I'm like, do I though? Do I really need to try harder? Because I haven't been trying very hard, and someone gave me a house to live in, and then someone gave me a car, and now someone gave me an opportunity to make a lot of money with this really cool, exciting opportunity. So it's like everything's coming to me. My manifestations are all happening. So why am I feeling bad that I'm taking days to just watch Netflix all day? Like, why am I feeling bad about that if everything is still working? Obviously, that's what I need right now, is to literally just like chill and let these downloads. It's like when your phone, you have to like put it on
Mute.
Well, when your phone is doing an update, you can't use it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can't use it
True.
because it's like doing the
Like
update.
the
You have
little
to just,
thing is spinning. Yeah.
yep,
So you're
yep,
waiting.
yep.
So
And
true.
there's nothing you can do about it. You can't restart it. You can't reset it. You just have to literally wait until it finishes the process. And when it's done because you're like, oh, okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm turned on again. I feel alive again. Some updates take longer, and sometimes you're going to be having more updates each week or each day or each month, than we've been
Yeah.
having up until now. So,
And this is the being in the moment thing too. Like
mhm.
you might have a to-do list, but be in the moment and say, well, I have a to-do list, but my body wants a nap.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to go ahead and take care of the
yep.
most urgent thing on the to-do list.
And I've noticed too that sometimes my body will think it wants a nap, and I'll just lay down for like 5 minutes and close my eyes, and then I'll just feel better and get up again. So sometimes
Yeah.
it's like you don't really need a full nap. It's just you just need a little reset, a little break.
Yeah. Might have been about 20 minutes. It's like a 20-minute nap, but it really restores the body. The body, think about all the stuff that the body is going through. It has its own consciousness, and we're here with it, and we are putting it through its paces right now. Like it is changing its structure.
Yeah.
So it's a
And
lot.
part of the
Yeah.
reason why this came to me just a second ago. Okay, off-world ambassadors. There's at least one person that's going to see this that is being activated to know that they are an off-world ambassador. I think that was hidden from a lot of us for a long time, even the possibility of it, because we weren't allowed to see that timeline for some reason. But it's now becoming a reality that timeline is part of our timeline now, where so if you're feeling like, if you had the thought of like, maybe I'm going to leave this planet and do work off planet, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projects being started right now that are going to involve certain people leaving the planet, going other places, doing other things. So very exciting, right? Like,
Yeah. The
very
future
exciting.
is now. Like it's coming in, it's happening. And yes, it's going to be steps to get there, but enjoy the whole thing. Enjoy the purge, even like as you purge through it, just know that there is another side, and you're going to feel good on the other side, and that'll help you purge it out faster, whatever it is. So I think in general, we're doing really well.
We are. And
Yeah.
you are, everyone. I'm just so proud of everyone.
Yeah. Everybody's
we're all
great.
we're all handling this like professionals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go into the unknown, and ascension is the unknown, and you only get as much information as you can handle too while you're in this ascension process. Like I didn't know that we're going to have to go through a big purge when I started this whole journey. But now that I do, I'm welcoming it because I know on the other side of it, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So,
Yeah.
you can deal with it as you know that good things are coming, and it's making room for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Good things ahead. I'm feeling really good about
Me too.
life, and just things are really just getting fun. I
They
know
are.
it's still, the energy is a little kind of wonky and heavy at times, but it's it's just the speed of things, like we mentioned earlier. Like it's less effort to get results. It's just really nice.
It really is. I mean, it was Monday like an hour ago. Like that's how it feels. It was like yesterday was Monday, but really today's Thursday. So
Yeah.
that's how fast it's moving, and
Yeah.
we're doing so well. So don't
Yeah, because
just
literally,
enjoy
like
the
my
moment.
trash, like this is part of the reason I know time is so weird, because the trash, we have two trash cans. I've been filling up one of them, but I didn't put the trash out on Sunday, and it's already Thursday. And I've only added like one more bag. Like I didn't even start using the second trash can. How did I only use one trash can for 2 weeks? You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. Time is just literally flying. It's flying
It
so
is.
fast.
It's really flying. And, whatever reality you're living right now, just kind of enjoy it and know that you are creating it and it will become what you want it to be as you move forward and
Yep.
release the old stuff that you don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloom where you're planted. That's been a big
Yes.
theme. Bloom
Bloom.
where you're planted.
I
Don't
love
try to
that.
run away. There's no more running away. We are standing our ground and we are rooting and blooming. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
We're not
Love
going to
it.
blame our circumstances anymore. Oh, it's hot here. Oh, it's not easy to do it here. We can do it. We all have what it takes, you know?
We do.
It really is true that like energetically, you can't be in a place where you couldn't survive. Like
Yeah. And we're going through the victim to sovereign phase right now. We're coming through it beautifully, like it's happening. So enjoy it. You're becoming a
yeah,
sovereign being.
yeah.
Yeah.
So proud of everyone.
Me
So
too.
proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself too, I'm proud of all of us.
Yeah. We're doing it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ray. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me.
yeah. Love you
Been fun.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.